Hello, everyone. Welcome to Concordia Consularis, the spiritual and business agency of peace. Today, we are back from a sort of false festive break, and we're returning to you to bring a spiritual call to equity live. And this is all about G7 coming up. Very quickly, I'm going to get into this video that I'll be running the Quantum Love Experience on the 3rd of the 2nd, 2023, 7 p.m. EST. Do book, because it's going to be really amazing. And a lot of prep work has been going on in the cosmos. And we look forward to tuning you to the higher frequencies of love and unconditional love of your own experience. And you can see other videos that I've been talking about that. And it would be great to have you on board. So without further ado, hello, Harrison. Hello, Derek.
Hi, Angela. How are you doing?
I'm very well.
Good.
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing, guys?
Very well, thanks, Harrison. Good to see all of you at the beginning of 2023. This is our first show, everybody, for the year.
Yeah, it's a fantastic year, you know. New year comes with new things and fresh things.
So one of the things is that I was a bit late this morning and I had no idea, I'd forgotten that we were recording and in the middle of something else. But now we're going to throw ourselves straight in and open up the spiritual court of equity for the express purpose of remedy and resolve here on earth. And the first beautiful vision we're going to engage with is that we're going to just place the invitation as we've opened the spiritual courts of equity with the sentience, the soul of earth, and all ancestors, star elders present in this moment. And we will be honing in on the hometown of the G7 for this week, and that is in Davos. So we have numerous puppets from the system making decisions for the rest of the planet and using time as a way of manipulating those coded constructs into this reality now. So we thought we'd preempt that and begin with all present puppets of the G7 variety. And guys, if you can observe and tell me what you see with this rabble that is appearing before us.
The court has brought in all the members of the G7 meeting in Davos, Switzerland, in the session. And not only have they brought in the top people that are meeting there, they're also bringing in their undertakings, if you can call them that, the people that are working side by side them in the various government departments around the world to bring their new agendas into reality. So the perpetrators of service to self groups are all being brought in. We're living in a time where it's service to mankind, service to others, and the court has got all the records, all the documents of all these puppet masters and all their offspring, if you want to call it that, all the people that they are teaching their agendas to, which is also being spread through monetary means by monetary gain and greed on their part, wanting to control the earth, wanting to control the planet. And this is not the energy in 2023. The energy is moving towards freedom for mankind from slavery, from the G7 masters and beyond.
Sounds fabulous. And I just want to ensure that we include here, because they have a tendency to hide away, the policy creators and makers whose thoughts they're drawing upon. So that's
Yeah.
really important. So, okay, we've got everyone coming in here. And what we're going to see with spiritual courts of equity is that things are, energies, resolutions are moving at a very fast rate. And this ties in with the expansion of the consciousness of Earth as part of her own journey. So what we have here in that G7 scenario, what we have is a group of people that make decisions on a policy level, on a governmental level, on an international level, of how people should be living in line with their system, dogmas, and intrusion on the individual soul life and existence of every man, woman, and a child on the planet today. Now, time is being used here, so I'm just going to initiate a process with those that are going to close and remove and filter out. And guys, I would really appreciate your perceptions of the individuals. I'm just explaining that we are here to provide remedy and resolve for all beings and Earth on this planet. And that includes the systematic removal and resolution of issues that affect people and Earth. And what I'm being told is that you can't actually say anything, you can't do anything. This is what is being fed back to me. And well, that's a limitation in itself, and an open invitation to just showing them that that's not the case. So I'm just going to engage in specific functions here. This is all about monetary process and conversion into the new realities that they propagandize into the ethers, into the dream world. We're seeing this as well. It come through in, Harrison was talking about his dream world and how it's been affected. Many people would have experienced this of late. And let's look to see if we can resolve that right now. So it's this taking and stealing of resources. It's this harvesting of energy and redirection of the waters of the financial flow, redistribution.
And also what I'm picking up, the court has just seen that they are working heavily through artificial intelligence, and they're wanting to ramp this up in this particular meeting, where the artificial intelligence will also be working towards getting their agenda moving and bring it into fruition. So the court is looking at all the records of what they have done on Earth, the way that they have used finances to make things more difficult, especially at these times for mankind on the Earth, to bring through their agenda of food shortages, fuel shortages, price hikes, energy hikes, etc. The court is recognizing it, they're seeing it all, and they're canceling it out. And they bring in high frequency, high vibrational energy to actually work against these puppets and their masters on and off planet, in hiding and in plain sight.
Great. So here I would like to invite all souls on the planet, those that are not or being are using their free will from a place of domination and control of others. Go on, Harrison, while that takes place. Say what you need to say.
Yeah, it was just at the beginning of the recording, as you're beginning, I saw this dark energy, like it was kind of hovering or blocking something in what we are doing, and I got the message, how dare you do this? So it was kind of strange. So And that's what I'm just looking at.
How
And
dare you?
yeah, those are the kind of words I've just gotten.
How very
And
dare you, Harrison?
yeah, so that's what I'm
You know,
looking at.
one thing that they never took into consideration was a grouping. How dare you, they say. Try telling that to an indigo. You know, just saying. Okay. So I'm just going to invite all those that will be affected on a soul level by the decisions, choices, and policies of this energy that has subsumed them all. I'm just reminding them that, in essence, they are spiritually weak. They may have put systems in place to disrupt the natural organic flow of the human, and that it's all going to come crashing down very shortly. So I'd just like to review their contracts here and look at what their contracts are to their, let's say, to their highest echelons of control. And I'm just bringing them forward right now. But, you know, what we're seeing here is that this is not just one being. This is a blend of beings, and it's very tricky for the untrained eye to see this amalgamation of many various different additions, add-ons, and you see this very often in mechanics and convergent technologies. They will be existing with the help of certain, let's just say, operating systems, and we're just going to bring that to the fore. And we're starting a defrag process. Now, what we're doing here could feel like it's choking them on some level. There's a stifling of voice. They cannot speak for themselves because they're literally en masse ones and zeros. And if you can describe what you feel and see.
Well, what I see is Harrison's in Kenya, where they've got Mount Kenya, and I see a light rising like a star out from the top of the mountain, connecting to the Jungfrau in Switzerland, and they are bringing through star white light, high frequency energy that is hitting that building from above, striking it with white star light energy. And that is going to carry on throughout the meeting, where the building is going to be continuously struck by white lightning, white light. Their contracts right now have not been renewed. They're null and void. And actually, in fact, the whole G7 summit has gone rogue.
Oh, exciting.
That's wonderful, because
right,
the
so
image,
there will be other intradimensionals floating around this.
yeah, because what I was picking up, I was seeing a large water body, and the moon rising up, and then there's this being. It's dark, it has wings, and it's spread, and one wing is touching on the ground and the other one is a little bit raised, but it's a dark being looking at the water and the ripples that's being caused because of the blowing of the wind and the way the moonlight is shining over. So this is the image that I'm seeing at the moment.
Yeah. So
And
what does that mean to you, Harrison? What is the meaning of that to you personally, Harrison? How do you translate that data?
So what happens is that the dark represents the unknown, and the light of the moon, this is the time they use to do the rituals. And the water, this is how they transfer the data they do. But this being is here to interfere or to stop the process that they have put in place. It's like, we can call it a wild card that they have not anticipated that is gonna come inside the equation of what they are planning to achieve. So this is the meaning I'm getting at the moment.
Okay, that sounds absolutely right, that they're using the waters and the flow of the financial currency system and utilizing other universal components such as the moon, emotions, feelings. And it's all a bit of a stir. So that I can see is just being removed out of the Stargate systems and all chinks identified.
Also, I pick up when Harrison was speaking and describing the scene that he's seeing, what I pick up and is being shown to me, they're also working through what you mentioned at the beginning of this talk, Angela, is that they are using time, future timelines coming into the now moment. And like that, the Court of Equity is cancelling it out, stamped, signed and sealed, and their timelines are smashed and broken apart.
Brilliant. So we're just introducing dragon energy to Davos because they're interesting how they protected themselves from the people, because they are apparently with the people but not of the people. So that's just going to be addressed.
Those dragons are actually, as they've come into the Davos setting, that winged being that Harrison saw is being pushed up into the atmosphere above the town, and is actually going to be blasted out of this time-space continuum to where it will be brought into the court, and the court will deal with it in another time, in another place. The setting's already set for that.
Brilliant.
For me
So
personally, I'm seeing
it's all sort of being removed. And
I was just saying, I was seeing a golden dragon flying above where they are holding this meeting. So I think somebody's plan is coming to crumble, because once those guys are flying over your place, well, you never know what's gonna happen.
yeah, but it will always be in peace.
Yeah, definitely.
The court.
Right. Ooh, now go on, Derek. Go on.
The court in this session is also addressing their agenda, but what I mean is that one of the items in their agenda in this particular meeting is using the pharmaceutical industrial complex to maintain their control and to get to the end where they would like to reach. So the court is also looking at the pharmaceutical industrial complex and the control that they are using through it, and that's going to be brought to an end. They might not tell us in the news or anything, but that is ending very soon, sooner than expected. The dragon energy, the courts, the beings of light, holding earth in its hands and blessing this earth will not allow this agenda to carry on any longer. Its time is done. And that timeline is cracking and falling apart as I'm speaking.
Wonderful. Now, they are looking in specific areas here, and this is about the governance of the digital ID and digital contracts. This is where we're seeing the expansion of the intent to create digital contracts that harness your life. So they're digital, they're not real. If it's not happening within your body, it's not real. So I'm just getting that analysed. And they're showing me that there will be coding errors with this. It's going to be very difficult to get online with this without problems. Right. Oh, and the energy emitting from this scene right now is really quite disgusting. And they think they're reaching past the point of human success when it's a complete fallacy.
It's also, I'd like our viewers to understand this whole digital agenda and just the energy and the idea behind it is bringing through fear. And that fear is what they're working through towards mankind. So the court is also looking at this, and they're going to remove the fear factor that's involved with it. So that there will be nothing to fear. We will, the court will actually look at this very, very closely and in fine detail. Just remember that also there's, before people come onto the earth and into incarnation, they have certain contracts. So the court will have a look at the people that are contracted to actually be part of the digital plan and the digital agenda. And what do you pick up with the court looking into the digital plan and the digital agenda, Harrison, and the pre-life agreements and contracts with this?
What I'm just seeing is there's darkness, and it's not a bad thing. It's just a new kind of thing that's been created in the unknowingness that's coming to the forefront. And I'm just trying to understand what it represents. But what I'm getting is that it's new information that has not ever been seen here on the planet. Not of recently, because it was here some time back, but the controllers have no way of knowing how humanity is gonna create this reality that's gonna come. And this is why they are trying to implement this AI, because they know when humanity goes into this field of creativity that is beyond what they have coded, it's gonna cause chaos to their plans. And this is what I'm seeing.
False ascension codes also coming into this as well, that they're going to be emitting through the coded structure of those digital implementations sent towards the souls. So each soul on earth, all the groups are present with us. And this is about the food chain as well.
Yes,
it's a
and
replacement of physical needs.
I mean, this session that we're doing now with the Court of Equity with G7 sitting in Davos is extremely serious. The perpetrators of this plan on Earth and beyond are actually in the court right now in another time-space continuum. They might physically be sitting in a building in Davos, but on a spiritual level, they are in the spiritual court. The court is dealing with them one by one and in particular groups according to their different agendas that they want to extort onto mankind. This will not be allowed. This will not be allowed to go any further. We are going for the freedom of the earth full on, and we are here as light beings to bring the light onto earth for the one true prime creator source God, and that is not part of this prime source creator God's plan for this time period. It's clearing the earth, clearing the timelines of all false agendas, of all reptilians, all draconians that are actually interfered with, that are half robotic, half android, if not fully android, and working with AI intelligence. That this is a war, the earth is at war, and against these dark forces and against AI intelligence, and source creator light and love will shine bright and succeed in liberating the earth. So this is not just about G7 sitting in Davos, it's about the liberation of earth and freedom of mankind.
Beautiful. So we're just going to ensure that all those inserts, inputs, the coded structures that are being impressed into humanity are removed from every soul so that they have the freedom to think and come to their own realizations about it. And one of the things that has to, and this has been a difficult thing on my journey, is how much credence I give the technology and what I would use it for. If the technology user is neutral, then the technology is neutral. This really is all about how we engage with this technology and how much power we give it. And one of the ecosystems of humanity is literally we discover, we learn, and we grow and evolve. Now, AI, AS, it is a program, literally a program that is designed to learn and incorporate data streams from whatever situation it is learning from, and integrating them into one hub of knowledge that can eventually be shared. Now, this is not going to be the case for humanity and the individual souls, and that people really need to realize that you are infinite supra intelligence. You are the creator of universes. You are not a computer of the lower, let's say, operational kind. Compared to you, these systems are kindergarten, really, or preschool. And that's no denigration there to the young children of Earth. They can outthink, outcreate, and be a million times stronger, infinite times stronger than these systems. And once people step out of the lack of self-confidence on Earth, that they have been hammered by this system over the last few years, something that we thought we would never see, is now the responsibility of every individual to come to that conclusion, that you are bioorganic matter and that you operate at a vaster level in the unseen. So just arranging that for the relevant parties to deconstruct that out of consciousness. It's not the be all and end all, folks. It's like using a rattle for something. And I can hear all the spiritual shamans out there, but I use my sonar. It was just a term for something of very simple use. A kettle or a toaster, for example.
So while you're working on that, we have the dragon energy and we have the masters of light that have come through, and they're arranging organic matter around the buildings and inside the buildings in Davos, where all these G7 members are sitting. And these organic, well, how should I describe it? Energetics are going to be working with high vibrational frequency light that will actually be tuning in and attracting that white high frequency lightning coming into the building, sending waves of magnetic energy through this field to wipe out any negativity that they want to exert and influence upon the earth and mankind at this time. So that is
Wonderful.
going to be taking place, and all the people that they brought into, say, the armies, the police that are surrounding the building to protect them, are also going to be influenced by these organic constructs that have been placed there, vibrating at high frequency light energy. And their thought patterns will actually be interfered with, and there will be a lot of scrambling of brain power in this meeting.
Agreed. And I just would like to add into that by bringing in forward the maestras of light in these universes of all universes, and the grandmothers. And I would love you to describe that energy. This is the original grandmother of Earth, part of that energy that creates all. And what does she have to say about this scene?
Well, what I pick up by you just even mentioning it, it's lit the fires from within inside the womb of the earth itself.
Okay. I hope every woman benefits from that. So let's just get that. That's evening out quite nicely from the top down, from the top of the uterus down to the cervix.
Yes, and just remember that fire is a great cleanser.
Yes. And I can just see the construct of that process that they're engaging in. This is the Davos G7 attendees, that they are being reduced to nothing.
Fantastic. So the court has done a superb sitting once again in working with the G7 in Davos. And, you know, even though we are going to end this court in Davos in the here and now, but when we leave, the court in the spiritual world is still sitting, and in many places, in many time zones, working with these people, working with the puppets, working with their masters, and their contracts are not being re-signed.
Yeah. So here I would just like to add that of the importance of making sure that every soul is liberated from the outcomes of others at the higher levels. This will in effect trickle down to the individual physical function on Earth and make changes from within. And it's the fastest way to reach all beings. So this is echoing out.
I'd just like to add, I've just been shown, as you were speaking, Angela, that what the court has actually done in this session as well, they've brought in their own court of people. You can call them the G7, sitting in Davos. They're sitting in the light, and they're bringing through their agenda for the freedom of mankind, for food for everyone, for energy and fuel for everybody, at a very reduced, if at no cost at all. So they're working with this new agenda for the freedom of mankind and for the abundance, for everything, for the beautiful, kind, loving, pure-blooded people on earth right now. The light beings, the star beings, call them what you want, for all the kind, loving people on earth. There's the duplicate, white, call it the white G7 meeting sitting for the freedom and the love of mankind.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Just ensuring that all their protocols are null and void. And look at the responses, observe the responses of the individual puppets here. Tell me what you see.
They're sweating because of the duplicate G7 working for mankind and not service to self. So they're sweating, and the drops are coming off profusely off their foreheads.
Okay, and the originator of the source of their energy, how is that function appearing to you?
On the run.
Well, that I'm just going to ensure that and just remind them that there is nowhere to run, there is nowhere to hide. Because the sooner that energy on Earth has its balls nailed to the floor, the better. So I just want to ensure that that takes place. Evil of all kinds. Hijacking off 5D when they're actually from 2. Sorry to use that very descriptive term, but I think we've just all had enough, long beyond it, and it's actually quite boring now.
I absolutely agree.
Right.
Enough's enough.
Can you describe that sensation that is flooding the court now, please?
Well, the court, a lot of people are really relieved, you know, that the court has sat and actually working with this particular group of people. And it's a relief as well, because people know in their hearts that the court has brought forward the true G7 members that are working for mankind and not service to self, service to others.
What I'm seeing is there are quite a pile of papers here, and somebody's just stamping on what is being decided here on the court. And I'm thinking his hand is gonna go numb because of the way he has to stamp a lot of papers here. But I think this is a closed file case at this point in time, but a lot of things have been stamped through, and but the court is not gonna be dissolved because there are other processes that are gonna be done that are gonna require some time to be resolved. But majority of the issues that we needed to be resolved or brought forward, we have already brought them forward.
Yes, I
Brilliant.
absolutely agree.
One of the things that we need to be mindful of when using spiritual courts of equity is that actually that a completion process takes place and that it is monitored and checked.
Absolutely, and then all the records are placed accordingly in the Hall of Records, in people's personal records and Earth's records. So yeah, so it's a lot of work that the court does behind the scenes that that really goes unnoticed, and an incredible amount of reorganization.
It is, and a lot of people question actually, well, are the Hall of Records real? Is it just a construct? I would just like to remind individuals that on Earth, we have lived in a construct of various different technologies, various different ways of being, various different structures and frameworks to live by through learned behavior, through conditioning of the ancestors. And it is, to work your way through a construct, you have to first liberate yourself from it, and then assess how that construct has impacted your infinite journey. And what that means is like making a decision, for example, about something, and it didn't come from the right place, and you've made a choice that keeps a construct of energy that is lower frequency hooked into your, let's say, decision-making points, right? So the important thing here is to remove all negative constructs while you realize and operate outside of it. And that comes from giving yourself a dramatically different perspective from the higher parts of yourself and your soul. That is key.
No, absolutely, 100% correct. Yeah.
So if you are someone that lives from an infinite perspective, you should be able to identify all the controls, the flaws, all the things that keep you on a negative karmic trajectory, which is creating crap in essence for yourself. And nobody wants to do that. But we only do that by learning how not to do it.
That's true.
Right, so I can see, and that's for the biggest and the baddest out there. Go on, try it, learn and evolve and grow. Okay, so that's reached an equilibrium point in neutral. That's absolutely marvelous. The forces of free will never be able to be changed or adapted unless you contract your free will into that system, basically. Right, there are some final elements from time being resolved here. There's a lot of data storage here on humans who exist here, and that's just being pulled out. Earth set to grow more than before. So, any last observations from within the spiritual court of equity?
No, what I'm being told that we've done a superb job by bringing through the energy, and also the court, very important that to let mankind know that they've brought through their own G7 group, working for mankind, working for the earth, working for Gaia, and working for the planetary and solar system and the universe as well. So they're going to close it for this particular session, knowing that everything's done for mankind through love, light, and joy. and for the freedom of the earth in 2023.
For all
moving
races.
towards, yeah.
That's wonderful. I'm just getting a calm scene. Yes, I'm just getting a calm scene here in the court, and everything is okay.
Yes, and also with you there in Kenya, we see that light flashing above Mount Kenya, working with the Jungfrau in Switzerland. So also the physical landscape of Earth is also helping and assisting in the court, and being shown that it's working for mankind as well in this sitting.
Yeah, that's wonderful. That's a powerful place. And the mountain is just behind me. If it's daylight, you can see it very clearly. Yeah. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Go on, Harrison. Harris, that's excellent news. And I'm just shivering all over, because there's massive upshifts going to take place in the technology of every single living being on the planet today. And that's great. No more harvesting of free will unless you make a conscious choice to give it away.
Yeah.
But the realizations will flow through before that takes place. But it requires you to be in the heart of you and the heart of your internal thinking process and feeling process. So that's just beautiful. So thank you, everyone, for joining us on the first Spiritual Court of Equity for 2023. We will ride these energies of supra creation through our own beings, our own intelligent vehicles, without the need for dependency on state, another human, or anything else that brings about your restriction. And it really is about that. Liberate yourselves, keep removing your contracts, and just try and have a really nice, peaceful, neutral time, despite the external projections from others on your journeys. So
I'd just like to add before we leave, for the viewers watching this particular show, unbeknown to you, there are hidden upgrades and light activations and frequency activations that have been placed within this particular sitting that you will receive to bring lightness and calmness and more love, and raising your body to the exact right harmonic vibrational frequency that's needed to exist on Earth in the most profound and beautiful way.
Wonderful. So may that be a gift to you directly from this court, your own awakening in a peaceful, beautiful manner, and also to all the lovely note of love to all the subscribers on this channel who have been with us, observed what we're doing, and come through, support, comment, get involved with what we are doing. And it's really very beautiful. I would like to see that increase with the year going forward. Do share this video or any others that you feel too. I know that we're working with concepts that seem new. However, they are living, breathing proof that when we get to this level of resolution within our own journeys, we can achieve masses and masses of positive change in our own environment, but also here on Earth, because it really does boil down to that. So just quickly also getting in there, Quantum Love Experience, 3rd of February 2023. It's going to be bloody amazing. I have been put through my paces this month and look forward to sharing these higher, deeper, vaster levels of unconditional love with you. It's huge. And I can't wait to take this on the road. Really can't. It's going to be fabulous. For all that grace us with their fabulous presence. The booking link is down below. Please do get in contact, leave a comment again, and we'll see you next time for Spiritual Courts of Equity live, or in this case, it's a pre-record.
And just press the like button before you go, guys.
Very wonderful. See
Yeah.
you at some point. I'm just going to see what I can do here to stop the recording, and we